award-winning gospel sensation Bethusile Mcinga is hitting all the right notes, preaching against gender-based violence.
His latest single, Nomathemba, was launched on Women's Day, and Bethusile is here to tell us more about using gospel to highlight the rising numbers of violence against women. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on a Sunday. I presume you would be somewhere praising the Lord right now.
Amen. We are praising the Lord here in studio today.
And that's what I love about you. You managed to use gospel and the word to now, for instance, preach against gender-based violence. You went from winning the 2023 Song of the Year with Ngena Noah, that we all know very well, to Nomathemba's release on Women's Day. Why did you decide to release this song?
Firstly, I would like to greet viewers at home. Nomathemba is a name that is usually given to a female young girl. When you are born in African culture, they give you a name that they put their hopes under that name. You know, so if you are named Nomathemba, it's because the family has placed their hope in your name. You know, so there are many Nomathembas out there. Unfortunately, their life get cut off because of gender-based violence. So I decided, as a man of God, as someone who believes that God is love, or someone who believes that violence is against the will of God. So I decided to stand as a man to preach to other men that we should stop GBV, and using my talent in preaching that word and in doing that awareness to all men in South Africa.
And how important is that, Bethusile, to have artists be social activists beyond just the recorded song or works, but also on the ground, actively fighting the scourge?
I think it's very important. We've seen artists during the apartheid writing songs to fight the systems of the time. And now I believe that we have our own fights that we need to write songs that will deal with those social issues that are happening in our communities. So as artists who are influential, people listen to our voice, they believe what we say. So instead of writing about alcohol and happiness on our songs and social media, I think it's time we start preaching the good news. We start preaching all the issues that are needed to be corrected in our communities.
As I said earlier, you are a gospel artist, but somehow you manage to cross boundaries. You find yourself in the mainstream. You find yourself now doing activism, as William just said. Why is it so important to you that as a Christian and as a gospel artist, you cross those boundaries?
Firstly, I felt that the mainstream media it does not give much of the gospel and the cultural music. And I believe that our values are carried by both genders. So I decided to push and try to break the boundaries that are stopping all the gospel artists to participate in the mainstream media. So with Ngena Noah, we've managed to do that. And after we have managed to do that, I think it's time now we start influencing the cultures that are growing out there in our communities with the positive message.
And on this journey, Bethusile, are you finding young boys and young men responding to your call?
It's very beautiful because last week I started a social media campaign where I asked all men in my social media to put a red lipstick as we were closing the Women's Month in commemorating and also showing that all the victims of gender-based violence, we men, we stand with them, and we also want to be in their shoes and feel their pain. So we were all putting red lipsticks in our mouth and posted those beautiful pictures, and it was a campaign that draw attention kakhulu yabantu abangotata bayibona ukuthi being a man doesn't make you ukuthi ube negunya loku abuse abantu, but a man was created by God to protect women and children.
Very strong messaging there. We're excited because Bethusile will also be performing the song for us in a few minutes. We now know about the deeper meaning of the lyrics to the song and the activism behind it. Tell me about the composition of it. What can we expect?
The song is a song that is known mostly in soccer fields and stadiums. People sing that song joyfully, but they don't really understand the meaning behind the lyrics of the song. So I've tried to rearrange and make the lyrics to be loud enough to spread the message that we want to spread, which is the against gender-based violence. So that's what we did with my team, and added few verses that emphasizes the fact that when you kill a woman, especially an old woman, you must think first that there are children that are depending on this woman, and there are families that are depending on this child to change their status quo. So we're trying to send that message to the people that before you kill or abuse, and there is another form of abuse like rape. That form of abuse, it kills a person while she's walking, because it kills her inside. Every day of her life, she is reminded that she's a victim of rape. So, singamadoda, siyanqanda into yokuba amadoda that continues to do that, they should stop it and protect abantu bangomama.
There you have it, good music with a good, strong, important message. That's the gospel sensation, Bethusile Mcinga. We are getting ready to dance and to enjoy Nomathemba this morning.